This is for any person who's looking to improve themselves. Our bad habits are low quality solutions. Hi everyone, I'm back with an update as promised. If you are not aware, myself and about 15 other people are doing the 1% weekly challenge. This is a challenge where we become 1% better each week. If you're interested in participating, you can subscribe to this channel or the Instagram or TikTok pages of Dr. Within, or you can join the WhatsApp community. I'll leave all the information below. The past 2 weeks, we were starting our mornings without the scroll. We had at least 5 minute screen-free mornings. The instructions were simple. For the first 5 minutes of the day, we would not use our phones. Putting aside the fact that you might need to turn off your alarm, I know I had to, or check the time, but we were not making use of our phones in the morning for at least 5 minutes. And I'm here to share something like a think piece on my experience being screen-free for 5 minutes each day, as well as some benefits to that and tips in case this is something that you want to incorporate into your day-to-day. My conclusion from this experiment is that our bad habits are low-quality solutions. What I've learned through this process is that when we get into the habit of doing something, especially if it's a bad habit, we're actually trying to solve a problem. What I mean by this is whenever we begin a bad habit, it usually stems from us trying to solve a problem or pacify a part of ourselves or relieve ourselves from something. There's something about working on yourself that makes you realize how much more work you need done internally, not surgically. Try not to look at your inadequacies and be discouraged by that, but rather let them inspire you. We are trying to get 1% better, not 100% better. So let that be a relief to you. Feel free to add whatever habit you're struggling with or whatever habit you're looking to kick into this space. So I'll be saying phones, you can add anything. How this manifested for me was when I woke up in the morning, I just had the urge to pick up my phone. And first it was just, check the time, turn off my alarm. That's fine. But then I would notice notifications. I would see messages that came in while I was asleep, and I'd be curious, okay, what is it about? Because I stay so far from my family, I've identified that one of the problems I was trying to solve by grabbing my phone first thing in the morning is the problem of being away from family, wanting to know what happened. Did anything go wrong? Does anyone need something? At the start of the challenge, I did feel weak to my impulses. I felt the urge to just pick up my phone and scroll. Started to realize that the impulse I had to check my phone was actually a message. It was a form of communication to my conscious. That's what made me come to the realization that our bad habits are actually solutions. We are trying to solve problems, but we pick the easiest way out, and the easiest way out is often not the best way to address the problem. A good question to ask yourself is, what problems are you trying to solve with your bad habits? I do not want to spend the first hour or the first 30 minutes, even the first 5 minutes of my day scrolling on my phone, consuming content. The past 2 weeks have shown me that checking my phone in the morning was actually a form of trying to solve a problem. The problems that exist are the need for validation, the need for community and connection. And if I don't solve that in a healthy way, I am going to segue into an unhealthy habit. The same principle as when you adopt a maladaptive coping mechanism. In order to pacify a piece of yourself, to make it through a challenge or to make it through a trying time of your life, you can adopt maladaptive mechanisms. So it's helpful for the time being to protect you or to help you escape, but in the long run, it's actually not healthy. This led me to the conclusion that the scroll is the solution. The reason I'm picking up my phone, my brain understands it as something that is like an assistance to me. The problem might be a sense of a lack of community or isolation or a lack of connection and validation. But the solution I'm giving myself is scrolling, because if you scroll, it gives you this counterfeit sense of community. It's not the real solution, it's a low quality version of it. When I talk about the problems at hand, they're not real problems. I don't see them as something negative, I just see them as normal human needs. And that leads me to ask you, what are normal human needs that you have that you may have been distracting yourself with? This showed me that the 1% weekly challenge and the little micro habits we adopt along the way are not so much about behavior modification. It's about understanding why we do what we do and addressing that. It was more than a mini digital detox. It was an understanding of the automatic patterns that we adopt. So if you're in the same boat as me and you're dealing with similar reasons as to why you check your phone first thing in the morning, here are a few questions you may want to ask yourself. Number one, is the scroll solving the need for connection? If this is so, what are the healthier ways to go about it? How can you strengthen your current relationships and perhaps create new ones? If the scroll is solving the need for validation, what are ways that you can find validation internally? If the scroll is solving the issue of boredom, what are ways that you can be creative or find entertainment in the morning without your phone? If your morning screen time is solving the issue of sadness or anger or fear, feelings that you're trying to distract yourself from, feel your feelings, acknowledge that they're there, but also track them. Where do they come from? Why are they there? Even if you wake up in a good mood, track that emotion. Is it because you had a good dream? Is it because you slept well? Trace it and see where it is and see if you can reproduce it for the next day. So, for anyone who joined the 1% weekly challenge for the past 2 weeks, we are finding higher quality solutions. We are not going to ignore our needs. We are not going to ignore our feelings by consuming content first thing in the morning. And if you weren't part of the challenge, please don't let this video be something that you just watch and don't do anything about. Go off into the world and try your best to experiment with yourself. See what comes up for you. Try the 5-minute screen-free challenge for 2 weeks. And if you find it hard, ask yourself questions. Why is it hard? What is this solving? Why do I do this? Then when you find out why, address the root cause. I found it useful, and the people in the 1% community found it useful as well. Here are just a few benefits we got from a 5-minute screen-free morning. The first benefit is having more time in the morning. My screen time right now is looking a bit crazy. I don't know if it's always been like this or if it's because of this new venture I'm in, but we spend so much time on our phone, and having more time just from not doing something is such a blessing. One of my colleagues, she told me that her screen time is like 3 hours a day, which I think is not as bad as mine, but her screen time is 3 hours a day. And she reasoned that if she spends 3 hours a day every day of the week, by the end of the week, she's accumulated about 21 hours of screen time, which means for a full day, she would be on her phone. When she put it like that, I thought, everyone has time. We are lying to ourselves if we say we don't have time for things if our screen time is more than 3 hours. We are lying. There's time. And that's what I discovered when I did not use my phone in the morning, that I was able to prepare for work in a much more relaxed way and do more in the morning. Now, productivity is not your self-worth, but I love being productive so much, especially in the morning. And by reducing my screen time in the morning, I was able to get that feeling. A second benefit for me was that I was able to remember my dreams. This just matters to me. A third benefit was the ability to hear my thoughts more clearly. I found that when I wake up in the morning and I'm not looking at other people's thoughts or other people's ideas or other people's skits, my mind is able to hear my thoughts a little bit louder. And I've seen this being translated in me being a better communicator. So when I get to work, my mind is just able to speak itself better through me. I don't know if I'm making any sense. And I feel like I'm not making my point by not being able to articulate this well. But bottom line, clearer thoughts, better communication. Those are just 3 benefits I got from the past 2 weeks. I don't know what else is out there if I continue doing this, so I'm going to give it a try. I've decided to take this habit and aim to be more consistent with it moving forward. If you would like to give the 5-minute screen-free mornings a try, here are a few tips to make it easier for yourself. Number 1, becoming part of the 1% weekly community. That was the most helpful for me because I feel I need to be accountable, and there are people who I am doing this with, and I can't let my people down. And also hearing their stories and hearing their tips, they give good tips. Tips like number 2. Number 2 is putting your phone away from your bed. What helped me was putting my phone right here on the counter. And so when I had to switch off my alarm, I'm still finding the alarm that works for me right now because I got a new phone and the alarms are just not doing it like the old phone. But in any case, I'd have to walk to the counter and switch off my alarm. And firstly, by that time I'm standing. So even if I had to use my phone, I'll be standing and not in bed, which is a win. But also, by the time I am standing up, I might as well just start my day having a good night's sleep. If I had a good 8 hours, when I wake up in the morning, I don't want to look at my phone. I want to savor my healthiness. Like, yes, I've managed to sleep 8 hours. What else can I do to take care of myself? And there's less of a desire to look at my phone. I believe my mood as well is much better, so I don't feel this need to look at my phone. Less screen time the day before. So what we've been able to identify is if you don't use your phone that much the day before, the next morning your brain is not craving that dopamine hit. And the final tip is to not use your phone while seated or while laying in bed. So only using your phone standing up in the morning helps a lot because you're not in a comfortable position. You're not feeling cozy. You're just looking at your phone. And I guess it reduces the need to continue using it for long. So if you do pick up your phone, you end up not using it for an extended amount of time and wasting your morning and wasting your life. So that's it. I will definitely be trying to keep this habit with me for the rest of 2026. I will most likely be able to maintain level 2 comfortably. Level 1 is a bit challenging for me, but you know what? On days when I'm able to, why not just give it a shot? If you took part of this challenge, please drop a comment below and let us know how it went for you. If you did not and you'd like to give it a try, remember it's not too late. It is not too late. You can still do this. We will be moving on to phase 2 of the 1% weekly challenge, which is a self check-in. I should have already posted the instructions for this, so it should be somewhere on the channel and on the social media platforms. If you'll be participating in that, you can leave a comment, let me know. Let me have a head count of who's joining. There'll also be levels to it, ranging from the easiest to the most challenging, and you can just find your place. Find your place in the circle of life. Find your place in the levels by assessing what would be a comfortable challenge for you. We'll be doing this for 2 weeks again, and we will come back and talk about what we've learned. If you were part of the 5-minute screen-free challenge, hit us up. Let us know how it went for you. You can drop a comment. You can leave a comment in the WhatsApp groups, and we will continue to motivate each other. The next phase is going to be starting next week, where we will be doing a self-check. And I'm really excited about this one. We're still in the morning. We're building those layers as we go through the day. And if the 5 minute screen free mornings is something you're not going to be continuing for the next year, let us know why. Let us know what your experience was. Until then, take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next 2 weeks where we'll do the self check in.